I'm gonna take these 3 Disney movie posters and make them terrifying. Starting with Finding Dory. First, let's paint a blue background, and I'll sell fishes from the original poster before blending them into the ocean. Then we need to repeat the process a couple of times to cover the entire background. Now I'm gonna use Select Subject to cut out Dory and get rid of Nemo and his dad. Let's imagine that instead of being friendly, the octopus from the movie is in fact evil. We're gonna need this nice 3D tentacle, and if we mask it out, it looks like it's warping around Dory. We do have to duplicate these suckers, and yeah, that's actually what they're called. But anyways, let's puppet warp these suckers on the tentacle. This doesn't look very realistic because it needs some contact shadows, but also because we should be able to see the other side. So let me import another 3D tentacle and mask out the part we don't need. But the tentacles are not attached to anything, so we need to steal the octopus from the original poster and place it here. Now we need to color match the tentacles to the octopus, and he looks more annoyed than anything, so I'm gonna warp his face, making his eyes look mean. But I still need to erase his pupil and make new ones by drawing a red circle, a darker one inside of it, and a highlight. Now we can add an outline and shade the pupil with darker and lighter tones. Now we just have to mask it so that it fits inside of the eye.
Nice job, team!
You might have noticed that Dory doesn't look too scared yet, and to fix that, I'm gonna rotate her mouth 180 degrees and then blend it in. I'll also repeat the same process as the octopus for the eyes, and well, now she actually looks terrified. The only thing missing is obviously some nice suspicious red liquid. I'm using a photo of red liquid in water so that it looks realistic. So this is the horror version of Finding Dory. Next up is Planes. You know, that movie they made after Cars that nobody likes. But maybe it would be better if it was horror, and what's more terrifying than a plane crash? First, let's import this 3D render of snowy mountains and get a nice stormy sky behind it. But they don't match, and that's a perfect opportunity to test out the harmonize feature. Now we're gonna need the main character, and I'm gonna cut him out with the magic wand. And of course, it needs to match the rest. If we want to make this scary, we should put the engine on fire. And one fire overlay obviously isn't enough, so let's go nuts. And there's no fire without smoke. Wait, what was the saying? Well, anyways, I'm adding a smoke trail from another plane, but I'm also gonna need this bigger smoke cloud that I'll cut out, warp, and desaturate. Now I'm adding some damages on the plane for good measure, and why not add a cloud in the foreground? But you can't have a storm without rain, so let's add some. And we absolutely need to give this a camera filter. Now for the poster you've all been waiting for, Tangled. First thing we need to do is cleaning up that background. Now I'm gonna cut out Eugene's bust and use Select Subject to get a panicked face. And I have to liquefy the color of the shirt to match the bust. Now I'm cutting out parts of his legs from another photo, and we need to do a bunch of stamping to complete the missing parts. I'm gonna cut out the boots from yet another image and try to fit them with the rest. But it still doesn't have arms, and these are pretty convenient if you ask me. So let's cut one out and warp it in place. For the other one, it's a bit harder, because we need to separate it in two and put it near his face, and the reason I put it like this is because we're gonna hang Eugene. To do that, we need Rapunzel's hair that we have to warp around his neck. We also have to mask out his chin and add some shadows. But that was only the first strand of hair, because we're gonna need a lot more. I just know you guys have been waiting for this, so let's add some tomato sauce. And since this is pretty satisfying, I'm gonna let it play for a bit. I also want to add some tears, and if I play with the layer styles after drawing it, we can make it look pretty good. And while we're at it, I might as well make his forehead purple, to show that he's actually choking. Speaking of which, we can finally write the title, Hanged. Then make it metal and colorize it into gold. So this is Tangled, but horror. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you'll love to see me make app icons into horror in that one.